So today is finally the day where we are hopefully going to 100% get the van finished. Two main jobs that we're going to try and do today: get the hot water system from the Bobil heater up and running, and also later today a very cool piece of equipment, because we're going to be installing a 12-volt TV, which is going to be an absolute game changer in the van. Every video recently has been a huge upgrade. Plenty more time lapses coming up because I've been doing less talking and more action. But in the last video, overhead storage is in. Bulkhead is all nicely finished off. We've now got an LED light underneath the kitchen, and also the bed storage area is also complete. We are very, very close to getting this van completely finished, and now finally it's actually starting to feel like a home on wheels. For those of you that have no idea what a Bobil heater actually is,
like me,
like Neil, it's basically a hot water system that runs and connects to your diesel heater. So we don't know exactly how to install it. We've not done it before. We've not watched any videos. They do come with some instructions, but Neil is not an instructions type of guy. This is the water tank. I believe this is 20 litres, which it holds there. This is some sort of vent which basically diverts the hot air from the diesel heater either to the tank to warm it up.
It'll be to the actual heater matrix, so it'll come out of that to the heater matrix, or it'll come out of that and into the van. I presume it's not rocket science. It's just I just put that together. You just
we'll figure it out, we'll install it, and then I'll show you the process of how it all works and getting it all set up. There are alternatives if you want hot water in a van. Neil's got the Truma Combi. Is it the 2E or the 4E?
The 4E, which, yeah, you need gas. It's a lot more expensive than the Bobil heater, but for us and a lot of other people it's worked perfect, and it's worked fine. We've had no issues with it, and it doesn't use a great deal of gas, and we get hot water and amazing heat, and it's really quiet.
As you said, they are a little bit more expensive, so we're going for the Bobil heater in my van.
That's got to be to hold that up somewhere, so that moves there.
I thought this was quite complicated, but Neil said it's not too bad. So if you're as bad at DIY as I am, then hopefully you should be able to get this done, or you just find yourself a Neil to help.
Yeah, I think Neil needs to find a Neil to help. I think once we've figured out what goes where and where goes what, then a lot of this will just get used, and then it'll just be a case of connecting pipes together and off we go.
This is the what?
That will be basically like a radiator system in your van, so the water will be pumped through this middle element, which, as you can see in there, it's got radiators. So your heat will go in there and then come out of that end, and that's what heats the water system. So then the water will get pumped around that, and then a constant flow into the tank.
Yeah.
But then you can divert off this if you don't want to have hot water and you just want heat with this boy. So that will connect from your diesel heater to this, and then into the cab. So there's a little arm in there, as you can see.
Also a little
yeah,
a cable to help divert it.
Yeah, a manual. That's just a manual one, just for in the cab, just in case you want it full on hot water or full on van heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll have a play around and we'll figure it out. It's not rocket science, is it?
What, Kieran? Hello, Bob. Hello. Here goes. Right, I can't lie, we're 3-4 hours into the water heater install. Slow progress, but we're getting there. I'm not even going to bother trying to explain this to you. This is not an install video because it's just far too complex for somebody like me to try and explain how everything works and what everything does. But let me show you where we're up to. We've got a pipe running from the Autoterm heater into this diverter. The diverter will push hot air from the heater into the van like it does normally, or it will put the hot air from the heater into this radiator thing, which basically will... I think I'm just going to ask Neil to see if he can explain it to you. Can you attempt to explain what the hell you've done?
Right, we've got the Autoterm heater and there's a pipe coming out.
That's further than me already.
You've got the Autoterm heater, and this is basically a heat regulator. So it's a very crude device, and it's on a wire, so you can either direct the heat into the cab or into the chamber, which is the heat chamber for the water. That basically works like a radiator in a car, whereas the small vents will fill it with fluid, which would be the water, and then the heat will heat them up.
A few moments later.
This pipe will go to the water pump that is in front of the van. We'll bring water in, it will fill the chamber up, therefore the tank will hot water. Basically, if we could use the same piping, and then once we go down to the kitchen area, then we can deal with it that end.
If anybody has actually followed along with that and understood it,
you're better than us.
Without Neil, yeah, not a chance I'd be able to do this by myself. Not a chance. Right then, today we're on day 2 of the bubble heater, water heater install, should I say. But we're going to be taking a break from that because we've done 80% and done as much as we possibly can for the moment. A few jobs that I want to get done today is install a 12 volt 12-inch TV inside the van, which, as I said earlier in the video, is just going to be an absolute game changer, especially when the football season comes back. I'm going to be able to watch the football, YouTube, Netflix, all sorts, and it's just going to make it feel a lot more comfortable, and at least I'll have a bit of entertainment inside on those rainy days outside. So this TV I bought from eBay the other day, I think it cost about £100. It's a Cello. Neil did some absolute mad scientist stuff on it last night because this bracket didn't actually fit the back of the TV, but he ended up drilling his own holes and bolting it through, and it's nice and sturdy. Here the man is himself, he's working on his, what is it, hydraulic system.
Just don't even go there because it's just literally been weeks of figuring this out. So solar panels, got them on 3 actuators, then when you press the button there, nothing happens. There you go. I'm trying to put the solar to tilt on actuators. The first ones weren't strong enough. So, me being the wizard, thought I'll buy ones that are stronger. They're also longer. So what? Now I've bought one. Now I need to buy another 2. So this job that should have cost me £100 and it was a cheap actuator install is going to end up costing about £250. But we are engaged in it now, so let's crack on. I'm sticking with the simple jobs today. Crack on with your telly, will you? Which is just going to be to mount this TV up on the side panel here, and what's nice about it is this mount that Neil had lying around in his garage swivels out, so I can pretty much have the TV facing that way when I'm lying in bed, or if I'm sitting on the passenger seat I can have it there. So there's a few different positions that we can mount the TV and that we can have it. So plan today, get that TV on, then I'll need to probably go to B&M to buy a Now stick, and yeah, let's try and get this up and running. Ow! Oh, ew! Well, that's the first job done. Mounted and secure. Next job, wiring the power source. It's wonky as hell. It's fucking not. It's wonky. It's not wonky at all. I've planned this van build that much that when I was coming to do the wiring, guess what? I put in some cables
for a TV. I really wish that was true, but the cables I've actually got in this cupboard were for some under cupboard lighting. But thankfully the cables are still in there, which means I can use them to wire up the TV. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Neil's got his popcorn or his black pudding balm ready. Popcorn? TV. That's a saying, isn't it?
Where did you get popcorn from?
It's a saying. Got your popcorn. Something like that. Right, TV's all wired in. I know it's working, but let me just show you. All nice and neat. Coming from the TV into the back and into my 12-volt cables up there. This is actually battery powered, but it has a little red light there which shows that it's charging. So let's turn her on. Any second now. Et voila! The TV is on. Great thing about it, if we're sitting in the passenger seat where Neil is, we can have it angled there. Or if I'm sat down having dinner, I can angle it here, watch the football, eat some food. Or if I'm lying in bed, I can sit here, get my lube out, get my tissue, get my right hand and have a fantastic evening. Just need to program it, go and get a, what do you call it, a Now TV stick.
Or an Amazon Fire Stick.
Or an Amazon Fire Stick. Comes with a remote control and all that stuff.
It's bigger than the television.
Yeah, it actually is bigger than the TV. So we'll get this fully set up and then I'll show you it working with Now TV on.
Film time.
We're just doing a quick test with Neil's Now TV. Picture and sound is bloody decent.
Yeah.
Obviously you probably just need it to be a bit darker in here, but there's a lot of reflections just because it's a sunny day at the moment. But it's working. And can you guess what else is working? A tap with 60-degree boiling hot water coming out of it. Yes, finally the Bobil heater is installed, working, and absolutely scalding my hands. Ooh. Ah, Christ almighty, that is absolutely roasted. I'm very happy to say, not only have I got boiling hot water in the van, I've also got normal cold tap water. So the sink and the tap and the kitchen area is now completely finished. So yet again, this video has been filmed all over the place. I've been up in Liverpool for the last 2 weeks. I'm now back down south. As you will have seen over the last couple of videos, I have done a lot less talking, but we have just done so much progress. And I keep saying the van is finished. I've actually realised it's not finished. There's so much more small, tedious detailing and personal jobs that I want to do over the coming weeks. Just to go into a little bit more detail about the Bobil heater. It was a bit of a ball ache to install because the instructions weren't great. However, I actually received the first generation, so they have done a big upgrade on the instructions and the Bobil kit themselves. The last couple of weeks up in Liverpool have been great fun. I went to 2 van festivals, Van Love Fest, which was the first one ever this year, and also the Adventure Overland Show. So if I met any of you guys at those events, a massive thank you to all of you for continuing to support me and watching the videos. Yes, I made the same joke 100 times. I still have 10 fingers. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. The van build hasn't killed me just yet. One massive benefit about this Bobil heater, which I wasn't aware of until the other day, is that it actually has an electrical element inside the water tank, which means it will heat up your water using either some leftover battery that you've got on your leisure battery, either via the solar panels, and also when you're driving. If you go on a long drive, you can turn it on, and by the time you arrive at your destination, you're going to have nice boiling hot 70-degree water, which I've had the last couple of days. I didn't show you guys this during the install, but this is kind of, I suppose you could call it the Bobil heater control panel. This is the water temperature and this is the air temperature. At the moment it's saying 48.2 because I've just used probably 5 litres of water that's come out of the tank. Obviously the more you use, the temperature will decrease, but if you leave that on all day and you don't use any water, and then you come to do some washing up in the evenings, that should pretty much be at 70 degrees, especially if you've got some leftover electricity or energy from either solar or from driving. And then of course in winter, if you're not really getting a lot of power or solar, you can just turn on the diesel heater to give yourself some hot water. There have been even more improvements and upgrades in here that me and Neil have done over the last couple of days. One of them being cushions. Neil ended up sewing these one evening and he's done an amazing job yet again. There is literally nothing that that man cannot do. I am eternally grateful for all of his help with the van build so far. We also have, I keep saying we because I feel like it's me and Neil's van now, but also have an outdoor shower, which again is boiling hot water because that's still connected to the Bobil heater. So in summer or winter, to be honest, I can go outside, have a shower, rinse off and use warm water, which is just going to be super cool to use. There are still loads of other jobs that I need to do and I want to do before I hit the road, because I'm thinking of moving into this van full-time for the summer and heading down to Cornwall. But all of that kind of update will be in a future video. For the moment, this one was mainly about the water heater and getting the TV installed. And I know I've said it in every video, the van is pretty much 100% finished right now, but as everybody keeps telling me with a van build, it's never actually finished. If any of you guys want to check out the Bobil water heater, what I've installed into my van, then make sure you go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description which will take you over to their website and you can just get a lot more information about their system and about their setup. The massive benefit of the Bobil heater compared to a Truma is just the cost. It is so much more cost efficient. It just costs way less than a Truma and it pretty much does the same job. And I'm very impressed with it, having used it for the last 3 or 4 days, and I cannot wait to test out everything else in the van when I hit the road, potentially next month, but more info on that in a future video. Plenty more van build videos in general to come. Upgrades, updates, changes, improvements, personalizing things, making it feel like my own. Thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to support me, the van build, and just the weird, wacky things that I seem to be getting up to very recently. Make sure to head over to my Instagram and give that a follow and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. And as always, I will catch you in the next video.